State's Exhibit 89.
No objection.
Submitted.
And may I publish?
Yes.
Did you guys literally cut the tree?
Yes,
And why did you do that?
because we wanted to make sure that we had the best evidence possible, and we felt that swabs were not going to be enough.
Evidence marker 5. Which is State 69 and is depicted in the photograph. What is that?
It's her jacket.
And State's Exhibit 70, what does that depict?
Her sports bra.
And had those items been cut prior to your arrival?
Yes.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes.
Handing you now what has been marked for identification purposes of State's Exhibits 90 and 91. I'll ask you to do the same thing, take a look at those items, and I'll ask you some questions. Can you start with 90? What is State's 90?
This is her jacket, and actually there was also her shirt, but her clothing was so tangled that I didn't even realize the shirt was in there on scene.
And when you say tangled, what do you mean by that?
Well, the AED pads, it had been cut off by law enforcement. The AED pads were tangled in the clothing, and to avoid disturbing any trace evidence, we didn't open it completely.
All right, and are those items in the same or substantially same condition as they were when you collected them?
Yes.
They would move to admit State's 89.
No objection.
89 was the tree.
I apologize, 90. And may I publish 90 before moving on?
Yes.
Oh, there's part of her sports bra in there too. Yeah.
Let's do them one at a time. And 90, there are 3 items inside State's 90, the bag that's marked State's 90. Item number 1 I have in my hand inside of State's 90 is in my right hand. What is this item?
That is the jacket.
Item 2 in my left hand inside of State's 90, what is that?
The shirt.
Does this jacket have a zipper on it?
Yes, it does.
Item number 3 inside of State's 90, what is this?
A section of the sports bra.
Moving on to State's 91. Sorry, Mom, let me fix that. Or do you want to pick up here? It fell. Is 91 in the same or substantially same condition as it was the day you collected it?
Yes.
State would move to admit State's 91, request permission to publish.
No objection.
91's admitted, we don't go.
And what is 91?
A section of the sports bra.
So the other section of the sports.
Correct.
Thank you. That would bring us to your item number 7. Could you tell us about item 7?
So as I mentioned before, I was trying to look for additional evidence, and as I was walking the area looking for additional blood stains, I came across a dark colored stain that I suspected could be blood. So I marked it, I tested it. It ended up not testing for the presence of blood.
And that's item 73 or State's Exhibit 73?
Yes.
Show you States 50. What are we looking at there?
So this is after I put out my evidence markers, and I'm just showing generally where the evidence markers are, and then this is the area of disturbed leaves,
Show the area of disturbed leaves.
where I could actually see the ground.
So would it be in States 50 between the tree that you cut and Laken Riley's body in that photograph?
Correct.
States Exhibit 54. Let me move some of these on. What does that depict? And wait a second, I think it'll clear on its own. There we go.
So in this photograph, I'm trying to show evidence marker number 1, which is the AirPod, and then there was also a path of disturbed leaves, not as disturbed as the area near 2, 3, and 4, that I used pin flags to kind of show the track of the disturbed leaves.
And that path of disturbed leaves, did it go from the trail to where?
It went from the trail to evidence markers 2, 3, and 4.
And that path would be how long in length?
It would have been a little less than 6411.
But would it be over 50 feet?
Yes.
When you say you saw disturbed leaves and you marked them with those orange flags, what did you physically see?
So when we were looking in the area, we were trying to look for additional evidence or just evidence in general. There, like I said, the leaf coverage was thick, but you could see almost like a slight depression in that area that led from the trail to the area of evidence markers 2, 3, and 4. And it was a little challenging to photograph because of the shadows of the trees, so I used the pin flags to show the path.
And what are we looking at here in States 53?
So this is a photograph from evidence markers 2, 3, and 4 back out, showing the viewpoint from the opposite direction, going from 2, 3, and 4 back to the trail, and then the pin flags are there.
Can you point to the pin flags so we can see them?
Yes.
Okay. Up in the middle of the photograph. And when you walked that trail and you photographed and you looked at, did you look at the disturbed leaf path?
Yes.
Did you see any blood?
No, I did not.
States 50. I already showed you that one, I'm sorry. Hold on a second. I want to talk to you about your marker 8. What was marker 8?
The phone.
At what time or how long approximately did it take y'all to find the phone?
We found the phone maybe about an hour before we finished, so maybe like 5 hours.
By the time you found the phone, was it daylight still or dark?
It was still dark. Oh, well, sorry. It was dark.
So States Exhibit 80, what are we looking at there?
I can't see the evidence marker.
I'm sorry, hold on. I will try to move it and see if it resumes. There we go.
So this is a photograph of evidence marker 8, and then in the background here, those are the other evidence markers.
Okay. And where, I know we see evidence marker 8, but can you see the actual cell phone in this photograph?
No.
Okay. But it was there where evidence marker 8 was?
Yes.
Okay. Did you take a close-up of this?
I did.
States 81, what does that depict?
The cell phone.
Can you please point to the cell phone in States 81? Okay, in the middle of the screen?
Yes.
Did you collect the cell phone?
Yes, we did.
Did you look at the cell phone?
Yes.
What, if anything, did you observe about the cell phone?
We noticed that there was an area of ridge detail on the phone.
When you say ridge detail, what do you mean by that?
Fingerprint ridge detail.
Were you able to see that without processing the phone at all?
Yes, a little bit, but I had to use oblique lighting, so that's where you take your flashlight and you kind of side light it to be able to view the latent prints better.
States 82, what does that depict?
That's a photograph of the phone and me using the flashlight to try to highlight it.
I'm gonna wait for this thing to stop moving. Okay, hold on a second. Maybe it doesn't like the photos on top of each other. Okay. Where on the phone was this image that you saw, or this item that you saw? See, I'm not even touching it now, and it's just moving.
It was at the bottom, close to the charging port area.
And do you see it depicted in States 82?
Yes.
Please point to it with your pointer. Were you able to determine, was there any reddish brown stains on the phone?
Yes.
Okay, what did you see?
It looked like there were reddish stains suspected to be blood,
Okay. Where on the phone?
specifically the print.
States Exhibit 83, this may be really tough. I think I'm gonna have to come to you closer for it. So before I do that, did you end up taking a better photograph or more photographs of the latent print that you saw on the phone?
Yes.
States Exhibit 84, what is that?
That is a macro photo of the latent print, or in this case, it would be a patent print because we could kind of see it, so, of the ridge detail.
Of the ridge detail.
Correct.